Welcome to the... This isn't my channel, is it? Welcome to the woods anyway. Now, while Wessex Nomad isn't here, come for a walk with me. Something I want to show you. About 3 years ago, I did a video called 3 Trees, 1 People. The link is in the description. So let me show you those 3 trees I showed you back then and tell you a little bit about them. Here we have 3 trees, and where they've intertwined, rubbed together, they've gone through a process called inoculation. They've grafted together and they've become one tree. And this is possible because the 3 original trees are of the same root stock. They're of the same family. They're sycamore, part of the maple tree. And even though each one would fight for domination, for sunlight, space and water, each one wanted to become something like this. Because they were in such close proximity, because they rubbed and bashed and fought, they became one tree, which will become bigger and stronger. Now that's interesting, the way that works. If it had been 3 trees from separate families, an oak tree, a pine and a maple, as much as they would have been able to intertwine and grow next to each other, they could never join. They could never become one. Only because they're of the same family is that possible. And that will tie into something me and Wessex Nomad will discuss about the history of these woods, this area, and the English. So let's go and meet him. Catch you in a minute.
Hey there folks, right, I'm in the beautiful, wonderful county of Wiltshire once again, and yeah, I'm off to meet a good friend of mine who you may know as the Woodlander, the one and only, and yeah, we're here to talk to you about a very, very interesting part of the history of this wonderful county. So, where is he? Where has he disappeared to? Oh, here he is!
How you doing, Joe?
The legend himself! The one and the only.
How you doing, folks?
Here he is at last, after months of talking about it. We now have the Woodlander in a Wessex Nomad video. Pleasure to have him here. So,
And it's great to be here. Come and have a walk with me. I'll show you this track.
there you go.
Well, Will stood on what is now a bridleway that goes all the way up to Southley Woods. Now this bridleway has been here for hundreds and hundreds of years. In fact, King Alfred travelled from Southley Woods down this track in 873, 878, on his way to Ethandun. and he camped the night before on a small island not too far from here. So these woods have seen hundreds and hundreds of years of English history. Now Alfred had recently lost a battle at his winter palace in Chippenham, and he'd managed to escape into Somerset, and from Somerset travelled to Southley Woods, which is just behind me, in Wiltshire. So let's go and check out Southley Woods.
So let's get into what we've now dubbed as the Wessex Wagon, and yeah, go for a little drive. Let's go. Okay, so this is Southley Woods, and yeah, with this track you see here, we'd have gone all the way down here and beyond that gate. So
Alfred ended up here after being chased out of Chippenham. He headed into Somerset, and then from Somerset he rounded up a troop of men, headed back to Wiltshire, camped out in Southley Woods, which is where we are now. And this track is part of the same one we were just stood on in Woodcroft and Eastleigh Woods, that back then would have been really your medieval highway, and is now a bridle way. And he marched his troops down through Southley Woods, through Woodcroft and Eastleigh Woods, down to what is now a tiny village called Bishopstrow. And remarkably, although it's documented that Alfred and his troops stayed on an island the night before marching to Ethandun, there's no mention of what island that was or where it was. And after looking through copious amounts of historical literature, the only place that's on a direct route between here and Ethandun is at Bishopstrow, where there isn't an island anymore, but if we take a trip down.
Yeah, so let's go. But yeah, just before we go any further, guys, I mean, we just started and already we're stood in this path is so much more than just a path, you know.
But there's history everywhere.
Yeah.
It's just that you've got to know where it is, and it's.
As I keep saying, if you don't look for what the past has left you, you will not find it. Who would have known that King Alfred, like one of the most significant Saxon kings in history, would have such a, you know, highly significant. This would be a highly significant woodland for him, you know. So. Just makes you think, how many people that walk through these woods even know that, you know?
Not many.
No. So that's what I'm here for, guys. Well, and him. But anyways, yeah. Let's jump back into the Wessex Wagon and let's go
take a drive.
Take a drive. Let's go. Right, we have just arrived in Bishopstrow, right on the main road. But right, driving through it, it looks very old. Like, we're not talking like Saxon times or all, but I mean, it sort of like felt like we're stepping back in the 17th century a bit. But anyways, this is one of the bridges.
And what marks this out as an island is that the river splits into two and then rejoins again. So this is the River Wiley, and you've got one bridge here, and off just over there in the distance is the second bridge. And this small housing estate is really where Alfred would have camped with his men. Now, he wouldn't have had his whole army here they would have probably stayed in a small encampment on the river bank. But the island, being perfect for defensive reasons, it's got a huge moat around it, would be where Alfred and his personal guard, and perhaps up to 100, 200 men, would have stayed before marching straight across Salisbury Plain towards what is now Eddington and the Battle of Ethandun.
Yeah, so with that being said, we're off to the next destination. Let's go. Right then, we've just turned up at Bratton Camp right there. That's the hill fort, and right next to us now as well is the Westbury White Horse. I'll go into more detail about that on a future video. But yeah, we're just coming up to the memorial now. Check this out. Right, so this here was placed here in 2000 to commemorate the Saxon victory in the Battle of Ethandun. Following Alfred and his army being stationed at the island and then marching here to this vicinity, this is where that battle took place. It was a Saxon victory, and thus following that, the United Kingdom of England was born. So with this, you could essentially say this is England's birthmark. I mean, it wasn't put here, this isn't here. Put here on 5th of November 2000 by the Marquis of Bath. Stunning piece right there.
The story goes from Chippenham to Somerset to Southley Woods and Eastleigh Woods in Wiltshire to the White Horse and Bratton Camp and back to that hundreds of years old track through the woods.
Let's go.
So the story has gone from Chippenham right the way through Somerset, through the woods, down this lane, the same one Alfred went through, and to tie all of this back into those 3 trees that I spoke about right at the beginning. Like those trees, you had the Celts, the Angles, the Saxons, the Danes, the Norse, all fighting, all bashing together, but able, because they were all of the same family, to eventually join together to become one, to become something bigger, to become the English, and to build England.
And that, guys, brings us to the end. So thank you for watching, and thank you to the Woodlander for joining me today. It's an absolute pleasure to work with this guy. I'll link his channel in the description. I'll link his free trees video in the description. I'll also link the Woodlander initiative in the description. If you didn't know what it is yet, you damn well should by now. Something that me and Simon are working very hard on. But otherwise, yeah, please follow his channel, give it a sub, even though he's way ahead of me with the subs, but you know, give him 1 or 2. So yeah, cheers and guys, hope you enjoyed that. Please subscribe to the channel, and I guess I'll see you at the next one. Cheers guys.